Welcome or welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial, I will be cutting my previous razor cut pixie into a short clipper cut pixie. We start using the shortest chosen length. I am using my outliner clipper. I create a guide following the curvature of the head shape before removing the bulk of hair with my blades facing up. If you didn't want to go this short, you could start with a number 1, 2 or 3 clipper guard. I continue this process on both sides. This becomes my guide for the back and side zones. I now push the taper lever on the side down to increase the length of the blades. Using a number 2 clipper guard, I continue to remove the bulk of hair. I now close the taper lever following the same process, working under the previous section, working through the weight line. I now open the taper lever and place a level 1 guard, continuing the same process, working down our section. We now close our taper lever and continue the same process. We continue to do this working down to a 0 guard. You will notice that I use the corner of my clipper guard working through the weight line to create a flawless blend. If you didn't want to go this short, you would obviously finish on your chosen length. Before finishing this zone, I use my comb and clipper to blend and make sure everything connects perfectly. I now polish over with my number 2 clipper guard. We now repeat the exact same process on the opposite side. You'll notice that I've elevated my hair mannequin's head to the side. This helps me to maintain length in the top of this zone. Changing the taper lever forward and back changes the length by 0.5 millimeters. So there's no need to change from a 2 to a 1.5 guard to a 1 guard. You can simply change the length by moving your lever forward and back. Learning how to use clippers on a human head is much easier. Hair mannequins, the hair follicles are stitched in all different directions, and sometimes it's impossible to create a perfect fade. However, I think if you have any mannequins, you should cut them all the way down and get the most out of them. We repeat the same process in the back zone. Working with a 2 clipper guard, changing with the taper lever, working down to a 1, then changing with the taper lever, and working down to having no guard. And then using our neck trimmers for the 0 fade. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below. And if you've learnt something new, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe icons. I'd really appreciate your support. I complete the clipper fade with my final shaver, working around the edge to really get that zero fade and blend into the skin. I now complete the side zones with a light scissor over comb. You can also join the sides into the top using a clipper over comb to blend. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like a more in-depth, close-up tutorial of how to fade. Important to step back and check your work, and also to look in the mirror to make sure you're happy with the result before moving on to the top zone. I now hydrate the hair and prepare it for the wet cutting. Moving on to the crown zone, we take diagonal back sections using the length from the zone below as our guide. We over-direct all sections back to this guide. This will connect the crown into the previous zone. We continue this process on both sides. To complete the zone, we take the corner off by taking horizontal sections and simply removing the corner. We continue this process taking horizontal sections in the side zones, connecting the top zone into the side zone. To maintain length in the top zone, I take horizontal sections, using my thinning scissors to remove a small amount of weight, softening the ends. I refine the fringe with minimal point cutting to personalize. This is my super short clipper cut pixie haircut. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching and see you next week.